Fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
Now shut up and eat your garbage.
Shh, they're coming.
Where you going, Jimmy?
Jimmy, where are you going?
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend. The end of our elaborate plans. The end of everything that stands. The end. No safety or surprise, the end. I'll never look into your eyes again. Can you picture what will be so limitless and free? Desperately in need.
And only 100 available in the U.S. The 3-ounce pure 999 silver coin features an antiqued finish that keeps with the ancient subject matter. This coin's limited availability and low mintage means you should act now to secure your very own raw sun god silver-proof coin before supplies run out. And the sale ends at midnight on October 31st. So order yours now.
The fact that this woman who is playing his wife is acting as if nothing happened, as if she's wondering who even told him that, and he thought that, or at least he was told that she was dead, but really, I believe we're being shown that these pagan or these satanic beings can resurrect or have the power to do these things, when really only God, Abba Yahweh, and his son Yeshua have the power. Yeshua himself said that he is the resurrection and the life. All right, so really they have no power to do this kind of thing. And of course we see yet again the woman in red. This time it's a black woman in scarlet red. Is this again a mystery, a reference to Mystery Babylon, which is controlling? She is the one, all the pagan religions, the religions of the devil are controlling all of the people, just as Revelation 17 says that she sits on many waters, controlling multitudes, peoples, tribes, and nations, and also possibly is a pagan ritual or a satanic ritual taking place here due to all the use of the candles here. I believe that possibly a devil ritual is about to take place here. But of course, you can see all the red all over the place. The woman in red is constantly being shown to us. And then Wednesday says to Shadow, you have a choice. Either the world is crazy, and as we see this grotesque image, so yet again, I think we're seeing more human blood sacrifice being shown here. I think major Baal sacrifice or practices is being constantly shown in the mainstream. Is this possibly depicting that the world is gone mad in killing themselves? I wouldn't be surprised if that is what is being shown here. And before I keep going, I really want to show this scripture from Galatians 3, and right in verse 13, it talks about Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, having become a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is every
Of earth are open to you.
It makes me wonder if whether they're trying to depict quite the mockery, as we saw this Shadow's wife being literally, or in this show, seemingly raised from the dead. Is this a mockery of the sacrifice that Yeshua did for us when he died for us? He was the only one that was resurrected, and so they love to paganize or totally twist and make it seem like these pagan deities or these satanic deities have a way of resurrecting people, but they do not have any such power. So, as we keep going, let's get back to what this picture was of this, depicting this madness of this man here. And what I find quite fascinating is that we are being shown, I believe, the all-out coming of the destruction of mankind, the judgment. I believe we're being shown here, mankind killing themselves. We are being shown right in the book of Revelation as we look at the second seal. conflict on the earth. And it says, when he opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature saying, come and see. Another horse, fiery red, went out, and it was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth, that people should kill one another, and there was given to him a great reference to Revelation and the second seal in Revelation 6 about peace being taken away from the earth, that people will kill one another. I believe we are possibly being shown this theme because the judgment of the world is coming, that Yeshua is about to come and rescue his people from this world, and then right after that happens, there will be severe consequences and severe judgment will be released upon this world, and people will literally start killing one another. And that is possibly what we are being shown with all this blood sacrifice, with all these Baal practices, humans even eating other humans, eating human flesh, all of this cannibalism, all of this kind of horrible devil Baal practices being shown in so many of these television. Crazy, okay? And the rest of that sentence is, or you are. So, and he says that as we see this guy's eyes light up when Shadow walks by him. So it looks like Shadow is being shown, you know, these beings in the shadows lurking around are in many places, possibly. So he basically, you know, Wednesday tells Shadow that you have a choice. Either the world will think you're crazy, or sorry, either the world is crazy, or you are. So really showing that nobody's going to believe him, and that, you know, this stuff is happening, but nobody is going to even, you know, give him the time of day, that people will think that Shadow is crazy. But really, possibly the devil's agents are lurking around all over the place, and this man's eyes, as you saw in the trailer, lit up like crazy. So something is definitely being shown back to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and he constantly wants to remind us of that, and he thinks that he is the one that gives us enlightenment, that he is the one that is going to cause the apotheosis of man, but he never
out as saints. We'll never know. One thing's for sure, you'd never tell by looking at Capitol Dome.
And even as we look at Odin, we see him also depicted, you know, speaking of the one eye, the all-seeing eye, we see good old Odin again, of course, has the one eye. He's got the one eye patch that he supposedly suffered in battle. But of course, again, depicting the one eye, you've got the right eye that is closed up here. Yet again, the Illuminati all-seeing eye. You've even got the two horns on him. So really, I believe that is a depiction of Baphomet. Okay, again, the two horns, same kind of thing that we are shown so many times in so many different ways. And I believe it is a depiction of Revelation 13 and the false prophet, the final false prophet, the second beast that comes up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. So again, this is what I believe we are being shown here, that this guy Wednesday, who just happens to be, or Wednesday just happens to be named after Odin, after Woden's Day. That is what Wednesday is. So we are being shown really the worship of Satan, the worship of Odin, the worship of Baphomet, the worship, in my opinion, of the final false prophet who is going to come alongside the beast and be his number one companion, or his number one guy that basically gets everyone to worship the beast, to fall at his image, to worship his image, to take the mark of the beast as well. So really, this is the worship of the false prophet, I believe, that we are being shown here. And so really,
Sure you're still as sharp as Mike says?
How long have you been dating your secretary?
About a week.
all the worship of Lucifer, depicting him as a good guy, depicting him as a person that could resurrect the dead, but really he does not have those powers. At least he will counterfeit those kinds of powers. So do not be fooled. This is what is being shown to us constantly. Again, as always, you do not have to believe anything that I say. Please do your own research and come to your own conclusions. This is what I believe this show is communicating to us, in my humble opinion. But as always, please be aware of what is being shown to us in plain sight. God bless you.
police state system, and all manner of things, but also a blood sacrifice ritual into the wine press, Samson pushing down the two pillars. But this all correlates to what we've been looking into in the last video, what we've been looking into in regards to the cube behind the veil. It all links in together, and in this video we're going to have a look again through Solomon's temple, Herod's temple, how this all correlates to Jesus Christ when he died and rose again, and the veil was ripped in that temple to reveal the cornerstone that was behind the veil. And this all links together with 9/11 and many different things. So let's have a look at this. So 9/11 2001 IXXI, many believe, or some believe, that Jesus himself was born on 9/11 3 BC, which is pretty interesting because 9/11 2001 is an inversion of that 9/11 2001 3 AD. But this event, this horrific event that happened on 9/11 2001, we've discussed this before in terms of the two pillars, like Samson pushing down the two pillars, north and south, plus and minus, just like the pillars in Freemasonry, Yashin and Boaz, plus and minus. So the male and female, the parents, and just like that Samson figure pushing it down in the Bible. And then you've got the child here, which in terms of what we're looking at the moment, as I say, there's many different ways of understanding the nature of this satanic ritual, because there's many different paths and roads that lead to the same conclusion. But the World Trade Center 7 representing that cornerstone. Now remember, Jesus Christ is our true cornerstone, and this all involves inverting. It's to do with the Antichrist. They're trying to bring in, they're trying to open the pit, they're trying to bring in the Antichrist and the age of the Antichrist. So that involves smashing this cornerstone, as per usual, smashing this stone. So just to put it very simply, this is exactly what we're looking at when we look at that. We're looking at the figure pushing down the two pillars and the veil breaking, just like when Jesus died on the cross and the veil was rent, and the cube collapsing, the cornerstone collapsing behind the veil. Now, G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. So that is exactly what that's representing there, including the generative principle. But you see how when these pillars come down, collapsing the cube, the cornerstone, G equals 7, building 7, and then rebuilding into a new tower, which would be the transfigured third temple, but of the material world. Because when Jesus Christ defeated the curse, ripped the veil, and defeated death and sin, which is, we'll go into in another video how we see the truth of the gospel through this, he rose again in the true third temple. Jesus Christ is the temple of the living God. He rose again out of the curse of sin and death. The grave could not hold him, and he rose again and became our true third temple. And when we're in the body of Christ, we are safe in our Father's hands. So that G, as we looked before, the Tesseract, the Game Cube, is to do with portal. Remember, ripping the fabric of time and space. And it's all represented, as I've shown before, here and here again, the two towers with that G in the center, bringing in Lucifer, opening the window. And 9/11 being a sacrifice into the wine press, level 7 in the womb, the wine press. And the blood of the innocent, as they always do in these satanic rituals, into the wine press. So essentially we're looking at this figure here, Samael, Samson, son of Samael, son of Satan, pushing down these two pillars. You see, this is the Freemasonic G, the square and the compass that he's standing in between and pushing down the two pillars. And of course, building 7 was collapsed. So he was, you remember the story of Samson, when he pushed down the pillars, he was killed. So that would be the same kind of allegory there. The bringing down that and rising into a new tower, rising into a new transfigured tower. The One World Trade Center. And this is what it's all about. IXXI. IXXI is 9/11 in Roman numerals. And look what is in the center of IXXI. It's a hexagon, which is a 3-dimensional cube. And that's what it was all about. It was a direct inversion of when Jesus Christ died on the cross and the veil was rent. This is exactly an inversion. See, that World Trade Center 7, the collapse, the smashing of the cornerstone, a direct inversion of Christ, this is what they're representing, you see. It's the same as the breaking of the egg, the split cracking open of the egg, and the rising of the son of Lucifer. You see what's in the center there. It's about portals, it's about opening the womb, it's dimensional, it's ripping the fabric of time and space. Bringing down the 2 pillars of our society in many different ways. Remember, all of these have different layers of meaning, because the spiritual is incredibly deep, and it doesn't just kill one bird, it kills multiple birds with one stone, cracking open the egg, that cube. And this being XX, which is the seal of Saturn, and the compass draws the circle, and this is a square, that's time and space. This is all about bringing down the reality in which we live, essentially, and rebuilding into their new age of Horus Luciferian age that they're trying to desperately to bring in. Remember, 9/11 happened just after the millennium. It happened in 9/11/2001. Just after the big hype about the millennium. You see the way that this works? You see the way that Satan is constantly copying, counterfeiting, and the way that Satan is constantly desperate. Well, this is what it's all about, because Jesus Christ, when he died on the cross, he cracked through time and space, because he died on the sword in the stone. He cracked through time and space. There was an earthquake, and people came out of their graves. And you see, when he died and rose again, it was a huge victory over Satan's kingdom, and as such, they are desperately trying to get out of what they are stuck in. They are stuck in the womb, in the matrix, and all of this is contributing over these years, over these end times, as things build up and build up. You see the society changing, doubly each year, doubly, triply, just really changing. This is all a process this is all a process of the beast coming upon the earth. This is all a process of the matrix coming upon the earth, and heading towards the time that the Bible says that the world will start to wander after the beast. So that is exactly it right there. All contained in there. Just like this Dali painting, the rising of the sun, the cracking open of the egg, the heart of the earth, the yolk, the egg, the heart of the earth, the cracking open. We're going to go more into how Jesus defeated Satan's kingdom in the future. And that obviously all involves the heart of the earth, as Jonah was in the belly of the great fish. The Antichrist, the false Christ, comes from the heart of the earth. And it's all about this, guys. It's all about this 911 IXXI, the generative principle, as above, so below, alchemy, fire and water, the perfect storm, hot meets cold. All the same representations. 7, level 7, the womb. The tombstone is the womb stone, the 2 pillars, the 2 towers, with the 3rd building in the centre, bringing it down. And speaking of cracking through time and space, you see how between the 2 pillars here, portal, black sun portal, between the 2 towers, cracking through time and space. And that is exactly it right there. And you see how this is a complete inversion of Christ, of Jesus Christ. This is Antichrist. This was an Antichrist ritual. A complete inversion. Because right there you've got the ISIS figure, the false light, and the two pillars through the twin towers, and with the building 7, so you get them pillars, you get those pillars coming down, you got the figure in the center of it, bringing these down and collapsing building 7, which would be the cornerstone, the cube. Just like we said about the cube fell open behind the veil in Herod's temple. The cube fell open when Jesus was crucified and the veil broke. Well, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Except this time, this is coming from within the womb. This is coming the other way. This is coming out. Everything of Christ is inverted with the Antichrist. So this is what you get. The 2 towers, the twin towers, the veil, and you'd get this ISIS figure on the cube there, see, on the cornerstone, coming through the veil from the other way. And it's about breaking it out of the womb. It's about breaking the fallen out. All of this coming through the veil. Samsung G. Samsung, son of Sam. Samael. Samael. Another name for Satan. Samael, son of Sam. So Samsung, break this word up. Sam, Sun, G. Between those pillars, like Samson. Samson, son of Sam. Samson, G. The G between the 2 pillars in Freemasonry within the IXXI pushes down the 2 pillars at the expense of thousands of people as blood sacrifice of the innocent, and then rebuilds into like the rise of the phoenix, like the new age of Lucifer. And that is exactly what's playing out, and that's exactly what they plan, what the elite plan, what the fallen plan. And that is a direct inversion of what happened with Jesus Christ, because he is the truth, and this is the only way for them to do it, because they have to do what they need to do. They're not playing about here. These are real rituals. These have to symbolically pertain to what it needs to for it to be effective and for it to work. They're not just doing it because they're evil. They're not just organising these mass human sacrifice things because they're evil. They're doing it because there's a very specific and targeted purpose. Even since the days of Aleister Crowley, they've been trying to do this. God bless you guys. And if I get called influenced by demonic spirits for revealing the truth,